Hey guys, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about vehicle graphics and kind of a little bit of the history behind them, why people do this kind of stuff and put graphics. Like I've got these stripes on my truck. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen them. We call these rally stripes on Chevys, or I guess any modern car with two stripes running down them or whatever. But I just want to talk a little bit about it because of this comment right here, basically saying that these are infantile. So that kind of got me a little interested where something like that would have come from. It's just somebody's opinion, right? So, but I did want to, it just kind of like led me down this rabbit hole of why do we put graphics on vehicles? Like, I don't actually, I didn't order this truck with these graphics on it. Whenever I found this truck, it actually didn't have any graphics on it in the pictures. But whenever I got there, the dealer had added them because they thought it would be like I don't know, it's just something cool. So I never took them off because I kind of like them. I think they look good. But like, where did this stuff like even come from, or why graphics at all? So, like I said, I was kind of rolling down the old rabbit trail. I knew some things like, excuse me, I knew some things like back in the muscle car era, they started putting graphics on cars. They started putting the stripe around the tail panel of the Mopars, and on Chevys you had the Inco stripes. You had the Z28 with the Camaro and the rally stripes. You had stripes on Novas, and all kind of different muscle cars had a lot of different kind of packages and that sort of thing. But really, vehicle graphics and stripes goes way back before the muscle car era. These things have been placed on vehicles in some shape, form, or fashion for literally thousands of years. It dates way back before even the combustion engine and vehicles we know today. I did some research and found that way back in the Roman era and before even they would put graphics like on wagons and things like that to advertise like gladiators or sportsmen who were coming through. There would be all kind of artistic accoutrements added to, or graphics basically added to the carts where royalty was transported on, or famous people were transported on. Chariots were often adorned very beautifully, especially for parades and that sort of thing. So dressing up vehicles really goes way, 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 way back to the very early stages of transportation. So we see all the way back then that like wagons were getting art. They were painting, decorating, advertising their wares, sellers of things. They would advertise what they would have in the wagons and that sort of thing. So it goes way back on just decorating vehicles for like their purpose, or to reflect the personality of the person that owned them, or why they would even have something like that. So moving forward into the 20th century, whenever you start seeing motorized vehicles coming along, I mean, even going back before that, trains would have signage and graphics and that sort of thing. Boats would have signage and customizations. Even like sailing ships would have, I think they call them mastheads, where they had like the little idol or whatever at the very front of the ship. Usually it was like a beautiful carved woman, but not always, that sort of thing. So customization goes way, 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 way back. Many, 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 many centuries, thousands of years. So where does that bring us in, like into the mechanized era? So I just want you to know that whenever vehicles first started showing up, they were very utilitarian. They were kind of replacing the wagon. And so almost immediately people started advertising their businesses that they were using the trucks for on the side of their trucks and cars. They would paint the graphics. So these are, of course, vinyl decals. But people would paint on the side of their doors and other places of the vehicle. They would decorate and grow these graphics and that sort of thing, and show them all of those beautiful graphics. It just kind of reflected the personality, and it reflected the let me try to say it right. Reflected the personality, and it reflected the purpose of the vehicle. So we've kind of got this same thread going on all the way up. So, Roman chariots were decorated for their purpose. Like battle chariots were different than like parade chariots. They would be adorned different. Wagons going forward were designed different. They would reflect the purpose of the wagon. Personalization really started showing up big time in the night in let me get my centuries right. The 20th century with the arrival of the mechanized personal vehicle, and this goes way beyond just vehicles that drive on the ground. At the same time, we saw an increase in like the airplane. The airplane showed up, and like immediately somebody got some paint and painted some graphics on the side of it. Like the Red Baron, and they were painting all of these different designs and graphics on these airplanes, going way back to the biplanes in World War One. Part of that was to identify the country that they were aligned with, and there was also personalization going on, just to kind of show the pilot's personality. I mean, like they would take their wins. I'm going to call it wins for the sake of the channel, and they would mark those wins on the airplane. And WW1, we saw that into WW2 with the airplanes. The WW2, I'm just going to call them the B-17, the big planes, B-17, B-29s, B-25s. Those aircraft often received nose art. It was usually a pinup girl or something like that. We're thinking like the Memphis Belle is the most popular one. Enola Gay, I think, was the one that carried the atomic bomb in World War II, or one of the planes that carried the atomic bomb in World War II. And those all had those nose art designs on the front of it. It was a way to personalize the aircraft for the pilots inside, and of course to help them identify each other in the air, that sort of thing. They were amazing what people were doing with paint on vehicles. And of course, over on the commercial side, people were still decorating their vehicles for whatever purposes that they did. You had the rise of government regulations. They would put door numbers on these things as progression of laws came and regulation and that sort of thing. People were putting their logo and branding on the side of their vehicle still, even into the mid 20th century. We saw personalization really start stepping up on personal vehicles whenever you started getting into the hot rod era. Of course, you had all the packages that you could purchase. Like, we'll use the 57 Chevy, 55 Chevy as an example. You could buy the 210 package. You could buy the Bel Air package. You could buy the Del Rey package. All of these different packages to kind of reflect the trim level that you wanted and kind of reflect your personality and that sort of thing. All the way up into the hot rod era, you start seeing these graphics like these stripes. These graphics start showing up, and sometimes they're painted on. Sometimes they are just graphics like these are. I mean, these you pull them off and you can replace them pretty easy. Painted on graphics, of course, that's what usually show up on a show car. It wasn't just stripes though. They painted all kinds of stuff: ghost flames, hot rod flames, two-tone paint jobs, whatever kind of customization that would reflect the whatever the owner wanted or whatever the dealership wanted to sell out to the public, right? They wanted to put this thing out there that's nice and attractive so that people will purchase it. Of course, the vehicles in the TV shows, the vehicles that were driven on the NASCAR circuit, at the drag strips, they all had decorations on them, striping, customization, sponsorships, that sort of thing. And guys, that's really where this came from. People would take a stock vehicle and customize it to their liking. Most people think customization as like mechanical customization, so like changing the exhaust or the intake, or back then putting a 4-barrel carburetor on, or something like that. But people for ages have been pinstriping cars, adding custom logos, companies, that sort of thing. They're adding their branding to their vehicles to reflect what the vehicle's doing. There's just a whole lot of customization that goes on beyond what the factory produces. Now, as far as the comment that we got earlier, stripes are infantile. I've never seen an infant driving a vehicle, customized or not. So take that for what it's worth, okay? But anyway, guys, that's really all I want to talk about. I just wanted to touch on customization just a little bit. Really, I mean, even into the modern era, it's still the same thing. people put stripes on vehicles to attract people to buy them. Like, I was going to buy this truck without the stripes, but the owner of the dealership thought that it would help sell the truck if they added a few customization mods. So he tinted the windows, put the stripes on it, and I was pretty happy with it. I like the touches there. So my son's Camaro is the same exact color, but we're going to put similar stripes on it. It's a V6. Ha ha ha! Yes, we're putting stripes on a V6 Camaro. It's going to look and be amazing. It's going to add at least 0.08 horsepower to the setup. So looking forward to that too. Now, I do want to give a quick update. I've got another video coming. If you guys have been following the channel, you know that the Silverado, old Silva back here, she broke down in Gainesville in November of 2023. And we've got it back. We've got a whole story to tell you guys on that. But I want you to know that it was just the lifter number 3 failed, and the extended warranty company paid for all 4 of the lifters to be replaced, and a fuel rail and some O-rings. That's about all it was. It wasn't real difficult. If it has to happen again, if it was closer or something like that, this would be something real easy that I could take care of myself. It just happened to happen 500 miles away from home. But that's really it. We got it. Just stay tuned, subscribe, and that sort of thing. If you want to hear the rest of that story, there's a little bit to it. I'm real thankful for some people that helped us get our truck back. But anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that about the stripes, and that's really where they're coming from in the modern era. It's here to stay. People are going to customize their cars. That's just it. It's either going to be a stripe, it's going to be an emblem, it's going to be tinting, it's going to be something. Everybody does a little something to their vehicle most of the time, and whether you like it or not, this kind of stuff's going to happen on base vehicles or the super high-end vehicles too. It's just the way it is. All right, guys. I hope y'all have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you doing that, and y'all take care.